Hello, the name is Regis Kilbin, and the game is Paladins. This is the new objective-based team shooter from Hi-Rez, the makers of Smite or Tribes Ascend, if you might be familiar with those games. It just came into closed beta, and I was lucky enough to find my way into the closed beta, and I thought it'd be helpful to run you through a game and essentially just talk about the basics of Paladins, how it plays, how it works, sort of a guide to get you started. This will be everything you need to know to start playing Paladins right away and be comfortable and skilled and know what you're doing. So let's just jump right into a game. There's really no reason to set it up. I think we can, in the 10 minutes that a game lasts, teach you basically everything that you need to know so you won't look like a total noob when you enter your first game, a lot of which I'm encountering so far. So just basically, if you're familiar with objective-based team shooters like Team Fortress 2 or maybe Overwatch is the latest one, this game will look very familiar. It's really just a point capture, and then once you capture your point, you'll take control of Siege Engine and assault the enemy base. There are currently 8 heroes in the game. We're going to play Pip to get started just because he's my favorite, and I think he has one of the best designs. But real quickly, each of the heroes, there is Barrick. He is a turret builder. It's a little bit more defensive. There's Cassie. She's a ranged archer who uses a bow. Her skill shots are kind of hard to hit. Fernando is your tanky character. He has a shield and a short-range attack. Buck is also kind of tanky, has some self-sustain, has a giant wall that can block enemies, and uses a mid-range shotgun. He's right now the weakest character in the game. Grok is, I'm going to run out of time. Uh-oh. I got booted from my game for taking too long. I'm so sorry, fellow Paladins players. There's not a good way to view the characters outside of the lobby, unfortunately, so we were just a little bit scumbags there, but we'll persist. It's the beta. Hopefully people will understand. So moving on to Grok, he's just a healer. Shaman essentially has a totem he places on the ground that heals you in a chain lightning attack. Pip, we're not going to get to play any longer, is a grenade lobber, and really quick and mobile and has some movement abilities as well. Pumps out a ton of damage. I'm trying to think who else we forgot to take a look at. There's Sky. She's a ranged assassin, really high damage, rapid fire character. And then finally, I think that might have been everybody. There's only 8 heroes right now, so there's not a... Oh, Ruckus. We forgot Ruckus. He's kind of just a stereotypical machine gun type character, really rapid fire. Has a flight option for a short time. And he's a cool looking mech goblin kind of guy. So the one thing about Paladins that really makes it different is the card system. You'll see it says new cards available here. Paladins is a little bit Team Fortress 2, a little bit Overwatch, a little bit League of Legends, a little bit Hearthstone. And these cards you collect by winning games or essentially buying them eventually. That's not in the game right now, but it looks like there's going to be a system to buy games. And as you level up in the game, you'll get a random assortment of 3 cards that your character has access to. And you'll choose which one you want, and they will give you strategic advantages in the game. So some might increase the heal on your healing totem. Some might make your attacks do a dot over time, an extra damage over time effect. And they all have base stat increases as well, so you'll get like extra health and attack just for equipping them too, so that's something to note. So each character in the game has the standard auto attack. There's no alternate attacks for right clicks, but there are 3 abilities, 2 of which are usually damage or utility, and 1 of which is a movement ability. Okay, so our team was scattered all over and we got to the objective late. And they have, modest cooldowns, so you get to use them pretty regularly. It's kind of feels very familiar to a MOBA environment. That's why it's a little bit League of Legends. So as you'll see, this is objective based. We're trying to stand on this objective point, and the bars at the top of the screen get to 100. Then you'll have claimed the objective, and you will spawn a siege engine for your team. which hopefully we can do here very soon. But I don't know where our team is at, so maybe not. It's so early in the game that it's really hard to define anything like a meta or strategies. I'm really not going to try to teach you to win the game right now, so much as just play it. So here we spawned our siege engine. These are actually really powerful. They make a much bigger impact than you might immediately expect. And when we get to the enemy base, we're going to be looking to destroy 2 gates along the way, which are very easily defensible by the enemy team because they'll have a height and base advantage. And then also finally the vault, which is essentially a 3rd gate that wins you the game upon its destruction. So there we took out the 1st gate. As you can see, it's very hard to push here, and one tip I can give you right now is don't stay too long. I'm already staying too long. In fact, I'm going to encourage my team to retreat because it feels like they're staying a little too long. You can kind of stick around as long as your siege engine is up, but after that you should probably leave. So you'll note that my card down there right now is displayed in the lower right hand corner. I say that because upon death, cards actually currently have cooldowns. So that's pretty neat. Cards have cooldowns when you die, so that the stat buff and the effect that they grant you actually goes away upon your death for a while. And stronger, more rare cards like legendaries, their effects. Oh, this is organized. Their effects will go way longer, so they have longer cooldowns. So there's a risk reward in using legendaries. If you can get ahead early and start winning the game via them, they're great because you'll just be able to use them for a very long time. But if you fall behind and die, you'll have trouble catching back up ever. I should be using these totems a little closer to my team. Not helping much right now, am I? Got her. So you can probably get a sense of how hectic the game is currently. I don't think it will always be this way, but... We lost that one, but hopefully our Cassie can clean up. So games are lasting so far for me about an average of, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. So they go pretty quickly. It's a little difficult to make comebacks if you lose the first couple objectives, just because the other team gets a level advantage, a card advantage, and a stat advantage. But I've actually... Yeah, Buck, I agree. Nobody else is standing around. But I have actually made comebacks in games where we were down to half a health of... our vault only had half of its health remaining, and they had all 3 gates up, and we just made one big push at the end of the game and then won straight through. So it's actually possible to make comebacks, if not particularly likely. You'll note that the gates here do assist you in killing the siege engine. And the gates can only be attacked by the enemy team while the siege engine is alive, so if they do tend to linger, they can get themselves in trouble because they're not really doing anything. There are no melee attacks in the game right now. Man, this is going worse than I expected. It has way too much health. This is dumb. It's a dumb duel. So there's really no downtime between objectives. As soon as one is done sieging, it actually starts right back up. I will note that if you die after you've captured your siege tank, your siege engine, and it's on the way to the enemy base, then you'll spawn in the middle of the map as opposed to your base. So deaths aren't quite as punishing. You can get right back into the action pretty quickly. It's not too bad. Let's just try that. We're not trying to win here. Well, we're trying to win, but not too hard. Okay, so we pushed them off at 89. It'd be very nice to swing this back in our favor. Oh, he's scary. I don't want to fight him again. Looks like we're going to take this one. So I'll show you the scoreboard real quickly. You get points. You know something like point control +1/+1. You get points for doing damage. You get points for tanking damage. You get, you know, just little points throughout the game. I got 8 for being present when it was capped. And there's a score column on the scoreboard that denotes those points. Although it seems a little buggy at the end of the game. At the end of the game score is not nearly as useful. It doesn't seem to indicate anything to me yet. And although you can't see kills or death on the in-game scoreboard screen, it does show it at the end of the game. Your killing blows, your deaths, and your total damage output, which is always nice if you're worried about that E-beam. So my character has a chain lightning ability, which is nice when you can just sit and spam a shield like some of these characters have. Lets me be really bad at aiming and still hit a lot of people and put out tons of damage. So we're actually on their vault right now with half of our siege engine's life left, which means we might be able to finish. The vaults are really pretty susceptible and the siege engines do a ton of damage. Now we can't finish. Crap. Mount there was pretty greedy, but we gotta try sometimes. Am I actually gonna get out? Probably not, but. Oh, that was bad. Should have ran them farther away from the objective, but that's why we're learning. It's still new. I'm trying to think if there's any other mechanics I haven't discussed yet. Heroes do level up independently based on performance, so you'll notice our Pip only has 2 cards. That's because he seems to be AFK. So, this game's... I'm gonna lose this point, but... It's still not out of reach despite playing as 4. This guy's busy a while. Since we're dead, I'll give you a little time to look at maybe an example card here. Anyone standing in my totem takes 50% less damage and is immune to crowd control, which is super powerful.
An ally has been slain. Your vault is under attack.
Oh, this is scary. I think it's probably over. They have just too many people there. Wow, we held it.
An enemy has been slain. Point spawning in 20 seconds.
So this is a close and long game. They don't usually last this long, but at least you're getting to see some gameplay.
Point spawning in 5 seconds. Yes. Capture point has spawned.
Defend!
He blocked my chain. I have no life.
Ally slain. We can do better. You have been slain.
Cassie's cleaning up.
Double kill. Enemy slain.
You can't see her.
Enemy has been
Nice.
slain.
Defend! Attack the
Alright, we're actually gonna get this one maybe. So as far as balance is concerned, so far Buck, there you saw Buck, the big guy with the big shotgun, feels undertuned, whereas Fernando certainly feels overtuned. Fernando's a real bully. He can pump out tons of damage. He has some crazy cards that make him straight up overpowered. I think Croc and Pip are both strong. Pip's the little Rocket Raccoon guy, and this is Thrall I'm playing right now, Croc. We should really ignore this and just go push the vault and win the game. Typically, if they have no gates left and you have a siege engine, you just win. Because the siege engine's strong enough to just push right through the vault and win the game. So this is almost a guaranteed win 97% of the time, as you can see. So currently when you win a game, you get some gold. We don't know what gold is for yet. There's also gems as an alternate currency, as you can see down in the lower right hand corner. And then finally you get a chest when you win a game. I'll let you look at the scoreboard here. So these scores, no one really knows yet what those mean, but our Cassie cleaned up on killing blows and damage. That's nuts. Very well played. And our Pip was pretty much not present and we still won, so that's nice. It looks like their bear was similar. So you can see everybody's cards to determine counterplays and synergies and so on and so forth. But the chest that you received, well, we go to here, and we don't know what mythic chests are yet. When you buy into the beta, you get 20 radiant chests, and those each contain 5 cards, one of which is guaranteed to be a rare level or better, so very similar to a Hearthstone pack. And then when you win games, you get a Champions chest, which is just a single card of a random rarity. And I've probably opened 30 chests so far, and I think I've gotten like 2 epics and or 2 rares and 1 epic and mostly commons. So I don't know how many legendaries show up, but it seems to be very, very rare. So I think that's it for Paladins. You've seen the game, you know how it works, you kind of understand the heroes and how they operate. You've seen the cards in action, and I think you hopefully understand the mechanics and feel comfortable jumping into a game. And I'm really enjoying Paladin so far. I haven't made it into the Overwatch beta, so this was a nice alternative, but man, it's really stealing my heart. I think you'll enjoy it as well. So thanks for watching, and until next time, game on.